Dave knows how.
Welcome back to my channel. I got challenged, and I got challenged to do the knife challenge by Don over at Houndsman 1. Don and I are pretty good friends, and he tries to stay in touch with me and check on me from time to time, and I deeply appreciate it. And I really appreciate him thinking of me when it came time to do this challenge. So the challenge is the knife challenge. It's kind of going around YouTube a little bit, and generally I don't really get into doing challenges or challenging other people to make videos, but I kind of like this idea, and so I thought, you know what, let me do this. So I've actually tried shooting this video. You would think this would be something easy to do, and I have shot this video 3 times and failed miserably. You know, the mic doesn't work, the camera battery goes dead. It's just been one thing after another. So there's 3 categories. We want to show the oldest knife, the favorite knife, and the knife that you carry with you daily. So again, this was called out to me by Don at Houndsman 1 is his YouTube channel, and I'm going to put a link to his channel in the description below, and I invite you to go over to his channel, subscribe to his channel, watch his video on his knives, and also some of his other many videos about tractors and the place where his place, I think it's in North Carolina. Excuse me if I got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's North Carolina. And he's got hounds over there, and he's a big hound guy. I'm a hound guy myself, so we get along like 2 old shoes. So thanks again, Don. Let's get started. So my oldest knife, and ironically, my oldest knife is the same as Don's oldest knife, and it is a buck knife. This is it, and you can see right here it's written it's a buck, so it's actually a real buck knife. And you'll notice that the blade is short on this knife, and there's a story behind that. When I first got this knife, I got it, I think, for Christmas. I was probably about 8 or 10 years old. And all my life, from a small child, I was going to be an electrician. I had an uncle that was an electrician, and I wanted to be an electrician. And I always was doing something with electrical stuff around the house, and I had erector sets, and I just, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. I was really into that sort of thing. So on my first electrical job that I had, I used this knife, and the original bag, a little tool carrier for the knife, it was wore out, so I picked this one up at a yard sale. It's not the actual one that came with it, but the knife does fit in it, so I got this. But I dropped this thing off a ladder, and it went into the concrete like that. And of course it shattered the end of the blade off. And so I've reground the curve back on it. It's considerably shorter now than it was when it was new. But the knife served me well. I carried it with me on the first few electrical jobs I had. I used this knife, and for quite a while. So this actually did get carried with me at work daily. It is my oldest knife. So the next knife I want to show you is actually looks like a buck knife, and it's shaped like a buck knife, but it's made by Klein Tool. And so I've got this knife to replace that knife. It didn't come with a sheath to carry it in, but on my leather tool pouch. Back then I was working at the VA hospital, and we used push carts around the hospital, and we all had leather tool bags that we would either wrap around our waist or sling over our shoulder. And this knife fit in one of the compartments on that tool bag. So this knife was carried with me daily at work for many years. It's pretty old also. I probably got this, I want to say I was in my 20s when I got this knife. So it's not quite as old as the other one, but it's pretty old nevertheless. So the next knife that I want to show you is probably my favorite knife. And it's kind of old. It's kind of old too. And it was my daily carry knife that wasn't work related. Well, I say that, I guess it was work related. I was working as an electrician, but I also worked part-time in a pool hall. And then when I didn't have, if I got laid off from an electrical contractor or from an electrical job, then I worked full-time at the pool hall. And when I was working in the pool hall, this was the knife that I carried with me. And it is a switchblade, and it functions very well. You push the button down, it locks, so you push the button down and that unlocks it. But it is a switchblade. You just push this button and the blade pops out. It's extremely sharp. It's got this serrated blade on it. It is really sharp. I've had this knife for quite a while, and I carried it with me every day. The finish is pretty worn on it, but it's probably my favorite knife. And I've got other switchblades. I got one other switchblade, but this is probably my favorite one. So there's my 3 picks for this video to show: my oldest knife, and another old knife that was a daily carry, and then my favorite knife that I carried with me daily when I was working in the pool rooms and going around from pool room to pool. I used to play pool, so playing billiards can be a little sketchy sometimes, but this was a knife that I carried with me, and this knife has been in a lot of pool halls. All up and down the East Coast, Pennsylvania, Ohio, you know, everywhere, really. Down south, so North Carolina and South Carolina. A lot of places. This thing has been a lot of places. In fact, this went to Vegas with me, Oklahoma. It's traveled. This is a well-traveled knife. It's been a lot of places, and it is. It's in pretty good shape for as old as it is, and as much carrying around as it's been through. Anyway, that's it for that. Now, time to put my glasses on so I can see and call out some people so that I can see your knife collection, your oldest knife, your favorite knife, and the knife you carry with you daily. And the first person I want to call out, in no particular order, Jim's Equipment Shed. And Jim Equipment Shed, he's got a pretty decent YouTube channel over there. I invite you guys to go over and check his channel out. Outdoors with the Morgans. Mike Morgan, I'd love to see your knife collection. I know you've got a knife collection. Show us your knife collection. Of course, I cannot forget Bob Mullins over at Bison Workshop. Even though I know Bob probably should not have sharp objects. I'm just picking on you, Bob. I hope you'll show us your knife collection, Bob. We'd love to see it. And last but certainly not least, one of my favorite channels to watch, Tractor Time with Tim. Tim, we'd love to see your knife collection. If you'd share it with us in a video, that would be awesome. So again, I want to thank Dawn at Houndsman One for inviting me to do this challenge, participate in this. I hope you guys will go check out Houndsman One's channel and subscribe to his channel. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below, as well as links to Jim's Equipment Shed, Outdoors with the Morgans, the Bison Workshop, and Tractor Time with Tim. These are all channels that are worthy of being subscribed to. Go check them out, subscribe to their channel, and check out their knife video and see what kind of knife they have. What I'm really anxious to see is how many people's oldest knife or in their collection of knives is going to be a buck. That's going to be really curious for me to see. And I'd also be curious to see how many people own a Switchblade. You know, it's not, I mean, where I'm around, we're in pool rooms and whatnot, you see this kind of thing a lot, but you don't see it much out in the norm. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time you take to watch my videos and subscribe to my channel. It means a great deal to me. I got some videos coming up, and I got a lot of stuff going on, and thinking of new videos every day, so stay tuned.
Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.